Welcome back. We will now be talking about the Java interpreter. To understand the Java interpreter, it would be easier to refer to the figure below. Just as a Java-C compiler converts a .java program into the .class Java bytecode program, the Java interpreter translates the bytecode program into an assembly level language program which could be understood easily by any operating system, be it a Mac OS, be it a Windows OS, or a Linux OS. So, in short, a Java interpreter is a software that implements the JVM and helps to run Java applications on different environments. Now let us do a full recap of all what we saw till now. We have two sections. One is a compile time environment and the second session which is a runtime environment. In the compile time environment, your Java-C compiler helps you to save your program in the .java extension and convert it to a .class extension. It is transported from the compile time environment to the runtime environment thanks to the JVM, and then the class loaders happen, the bytecode is verified, and then the interpreter comes into picture, which now helps your program to run on any OS hardware. Now let us see about the Unicode system. The Unicode system is an international language on which programming languages are designed. Before going into the Unicode system, let us talk about the pre-Unicode era. In the pre-Unicode era, we did have different kind of standards, out of which the ASCII, ISO, KOI, GB, and Big5 were the major standards. ASCII is very familiar to us, the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. We even had the ISO standards for the Western European languages. We even had the KOI standards for Russian and the GB Big5 standards for the Chinese. These standards did have their own pitfalls. A particular code value would correspond to different letters in the various standards. These various standards, they had different characteristics, the variable lengths were different, the encoding standards were different. So it wasn't a uniform standards. And even the storage pattern differed. Some characters, they were stored as single bytes, the others required 2 bytes, and then some required more. Thus, to solve all these problems, a new international language standard was developed, and it was termed as the Unicode system. In the Unicode system, a character holds 2 bytes. So, Java also uses 2 bytes for characters, but the lowest value is 0000 and the highest value is FFFF. Now, let us go into Java naming conventions. In Java, we use the camel case naming convention. Very interesting. It resembles the hump of a camel. The camel has a small hump and a higher hump, which means you start, if you have 2 or more different words, the first word is always in the small case, and then the next word is in the capital case. Though this is not followed for every aspect in Java, it is followed in many naming conventions in Java, which we will be seeing in the later slides. We will first see the naming conventions for classes and interfaces. As I told you, camel case is not used in classes and interfaces. Class names should always be nouns. In case you have two or more words in a class, the first letter of each word is capitalized. For example, your classes and interfaces like bicycle, B is in caps, mountain bike, it is of two words. So M and B is capital. Example, sport, S is capital. Football is a single word, so F is in capital. So classes and interface, it should be nouns. In case it is in a mixed case, the first letter of each internal word should be capitalized. The second is methods. Methods follow the camel case. It should be verbs. For example, if I have a method called speed up, it consists of two words, speed and up. S is in a small case and U is in capital. The same applies even for the next method, apply bricks. Next is variables. Variables in Java should always be in small letters. Be it a single word variable like int I is equal to 0, I should be in small letters. You have a larger one like sum or total, it should be only in small letters. The next is constant variables. If you are assigning a constant variable, the whole variable should be followed in uppercase letters. In case you are combining two words, for example, I've shown here a variable called maximum value, max value, it's two words, max and value. I will be separating it with an underscore, max underscore value, where everything is in caps. The next is packages. Packages should always be written in lowercase ASCII letters. It should be one of the top level domain names like com, edu, gov, org, etc. I've written a package over here, com.sun.eng, java.lang, language package. All these should be in small letters. We will see the remaining in the next video. We will start programming in the next